Hello, this is Rex again. I wanted to get back into these equations of energy, mgh and mass over velocity squared over 2. Before I did this, though, I wanted to talk a little bit about, I don't claim to be well read in the sciences of mechanics. I assume these are two equations that came from Newton's work, okay? I know in college we had the mechanics of motion, all the different motions and so forth, and I've used some of them in my math. Projectile motion, that kind of stuff, which is all based on how it, gravity in a gravity field. But this work is based on my focusing on this invention and my understanding the mechanics behind, the physical world we live in, and my professional opinion, if you want to call it that, as to what all this has come to mean to me, so that I can have confidence and know that my invention works. It's based on reality. In fact, this slide is basically setting it up. The next couple is going to even bring it down to reality more. And let me just get into it now. I'll show you what I mean. The question is, are these two independent equations? Okay, I'm saying they're yes. Basically what I'm saying is this equation right here is basically this form mathematically for both of these. Okay, it's the same form except for the 2. Okay, what I'm not talking about is this is mass times gravity, which is height over velocity over t squared, and then the extra h is over here. So it's mathematically, or I should say, unit-wise, they're exactly the same. Okay, even though they're two different forms, they're exactly the same unit-wise. And at time equals 1, okay, what happens is this form drops in that if we just cancel the mass, because the mass is, whether it's a feather or it's a rock, it's affected the same. And so let's just drop the mass now. We'll pick it up later when we need it in the mechanism. But so drop the mass. So all we got left on this side is gravity, because we cancel out one of the heights. So what's left is gravity is equal to h over 2. And so if we bring the 2 over here, is 2g is equal to h. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. 2g is equal to h. And h is a vector because this t was canceled out. So the unit-wise, the unit is still there because there's a 1 there with that unit. And so it's a vector. And it can handle a t, but it's not present. This doesn't have the power, the g does. See, the power is only in this one. So this is basically what we're proving is this is an interlocked mechanism. This is the scissors lift and this is the third-class lever, or vice versa, depending how you look at it. And so these two are independent equations, okay? No question about it, okay? The next slide, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prove not only are they two independent, but they're based on nature. In other words, whoever got them from, whether it was Newton or whatever, I'm going to prove that it's sound reasoning to look at gravity this basic, stripped down of all of its unnecessaries. Now, granted, this is given the fact there's a mass that gravity is affecting, and there's a mass that h, in other words, mass is on both sides of the equation. But and of course, what I do in my invention is I leverage the mass on this side such that the amount of work that's actually done by the user versus the mechanism the user built to do the work is small. In other words, we are building a mechanism that can manipulate gravity such that we can create a third lever, class of lever to work against gravity or with gravity, such as the little bit of effort, control effort we put in is minimal compared to the amount of result we get out. Cause and effect. You know, was it the third, second, or third law, whichever one it is? I think it's the third. Anyway, so on the next slide, we're going to prove the reality of it based on nature. Okay, so that's it. And it's the same place where Newton got it from, if that, I'll clue you in. But anyway, so basically what we do in the machine then is we take this equation, which I've done in the machine. There's an interlock connection between the scissors lift and the third class lever. And being able to do that, depending on what's happening, we're able to create a situation where anti-gravity or movement of the system is controlled with minimal input. And it's a cold fusion situation or a cold fusion process, in that when we want to transform power, whether it's to save power and let gravity put the power in to lift the mechanism, or it's to completely allow gravity to pull the mechanism down to control the second half of the process, and we monitor that, and the cold fusion process is monitoring that drop using anti-gravity to see to it that it's something that allows for us to transfer the power with minimal loss. And so what I'm trying to say is, as we prove this equation is valid, we're proving the mechanism or the theory behind my mechanism is valid, and there's no reason why we can't pursue it and make this a reality. Because this is technology that is not understood today from the mechanics that are clearly, we clearly know, but we don't understand. The next slide I'm going to do is going to bring it out a little bit more. I'm trying to keep these as brief as possible. We're just a hair over 7 minutes. So let's go there. And I think you'll find it very enlightening about how we can generate this equation from the interlock relationship of the Earth and the Sun mechanically. Let's go there. Thank you.